In this video, we're discussing how to buy a house in North Carolina. What's up, guys? I'm Avery. I'm with American Home Team at eXp Realty, and as much as I love making these videos for you guys, I would love even more to help you with the real estate needs. So that phone number and email address popping up on your screen, I am the one that responds to all the calls, texts, and emails, and I would love to have a conversation with you, see how I can help you make a smooth move to Eastern North Carolina. And with all that being said, guys, a lot of you looking to make a move to North Carolina, you get all disheveled when I tell you about the process of moving to North Carolina, and in particular, the contract process, right? From contract to close, what does that look like in North Carolina versus your home state? I'm sure it's going to be different. And in fact, North Carolina is one of like 8 states that does due diligence. So if you're any part of the other 42 states, and you've bought or sold real estate in the other 42 states that don't do due diligence, this is going to be a shock for you. And it's a shock for me. I still don't like it. I write contracts every day. I don't like it, but let's talk about it. All right, guys. So first things first, you guys, it always starts with you guys reaching out to me, whether it's the phone number or the email address. You guys reach out and let me know that you're looking to make a move or you're interested in making a move. That's the start of it. Having that initial conversation is the start of it. I need to know exactly what you're looking to do. And so generally what we do is if you send me an email or a text message, I respond back and try and schedule a video call or at least a phone call to discuss your plans, your goals a little bit more in depth. This allows me to understand where you're coming from. Do you need to sell a house, right? What kind of house you're looking for? What kind of neighborhood? What area are you most interested in? So on and so forth. Once we kind of have that whittled down a little bit, now we move into the showing phase. The showing phase can consist of a couple different options. First things first, with a lot of out-of-state clients, I do a lot of FaceTime video, a lot of Zoom video for showings. I will walk around a house and show you every last detail about the house, answer all your questions in real time as if you're in the property with me. Now, it's impossible to see every little blemish. It's impossible to know every last thing about the house, but I do my best to give you everything I know and can see about the property. From there, if you decide that you need to visit the house before you pull the trigger on making an offer, totally cool. We can absolutely do that. The other option is that you take a weekend, a Saturday, Sunday, you fly in, you drive in, and we spend a weekend together looking at houses. This is obviously going to be the preference for a lot of people. You want to be in the house. You want to feel its vibe, right? You want to feel that. Totally get it. I do that a lot with clients. I spend weekends with you guys and show you guys, 12, 13 houses in a weekend just to make sure that you get the warm and fuzzy about the house you're going to be pulling the trigger on. Now, once you found that house and you're ready to make an offer, there are a number of things that are different about North Carolina that people don't really expect. Let's talk about those right now. Now, here in North Carolina, we are in a seller's market, technically. However, it is not a significant seller's market, and sellers are even offering credits, concessions, things of that nature to incentivize buyers to come and purchase their property. So with that said, when you're looking at crafting an offer, you want it to be as strong as possible. And there's a couple factors that make the offer in North Carolina a little bit stronger than, some others. And the first being due diligence. So in North Carolina, it is not required by law to offer due diligence. However, due diligence does help protect the buyer for a lot of different reasons, but that is going to be your time to investigate the property. You're going to go and you're going to do a septic inspection, a home inspection, maybe, a pest inspection, things like that. You are going to maybe measurements, right? You're going to do a lot of things inside that house during that due diligence period. Generally, we're looking at like a 2 to 3 week period of a due diligence period to make sure that you know exactly what's up with the property. If you're getting a mortgage, that's also the time that we're going to be scheduling that mortgage appraisal to get in there and really just hone in on the value of that property. Now, those 3 weeks, those 2 to 3 weeks, that comes with a cost. That's called the due diligence fee. The due diligence fee is a non-refundable fee that a lot of people don't feel like they should have to give. And I completely understand. You know, moving from New York, we didn't have due diligence in New York. North Carolina is one of 8 states that has a due diligence fee. Now, there is no standard as to what the due diligence fee is. However, the majority of what I see is about 1 to 2%. Obviously, the higher the due diligence fee, the more competitive your offer is going to be. But once again, this is non-refundable. So if you back out of the house for whatever reason, if something pops up in the inspection, your mortgage doesn't go through, so on and so forth, any reason at all, that's money that is out of your pocket, essentially. Now, with that said, if the seller breaches contract, if the seller walks away for no reason, you get your due diligence back. But that's only if the seller breaches contract. And then we have what's called earnest money. Earnest money is a lot more common in other states across the US. And this is an additional fee. Basically just tells the seller that you're serious about the house, and it can be used as a negotiating factor as well. The higher the earnest money, the higher the due diligence, the more competitive, the more serious about the house you are. Now, the earnest money deposit is refundable in most cases. As long as you don't go and breach the contract for no reason, you're likely to get your earnest money back. It's the due diligence that's the kicker for a lot of people. And what the agents say here is that it makes sure that the buyer's skin is in the game. And I get it, right? I'm not a fan of due diligence. However, it's the nature of the beast. A lot of times in this market, your offer won't be accepted without a due diligence fee. Don't know why that is. I get it from the seller's perspective, but I don't need to like it. I just need to get you guys the house. So to write a competitive offer so that you get the house. Now, with a lot of you out of town buyers, I will go ahead and schedule your inspections for you. I'll schedule the inspections, septic, home inspection, HVAC inspection, you name it. I will do that for you. I will facilitate all of those inspections for you. In the meantime, the bank is going to order the appraisal. The appraisal is going to get scheduled, and the appraiser is going to go out. They're going to appraise the property, and you're likely not going to even know that they're there. I do my best of telling you, but sometimes they don't even tell me. So with that, there's things behind the scenes that are being done. But with that, those inspection results, you're going to get the inspection, you're going to review it, and you're going to basically let me know whether or not there's any repair requests that you would like to make. From there, those repairs are negotiable with the seller. They can pay for it, they can do the work, or they can give you a credit to do the work, or they can say, no, I'm not doing it, right? So all of that's a negotiation, and that is pretty common throughout the United States as well. From that point, if you do request repairs, then we have until closing to get those repairs done. Now, if something different is negotiated, then obviously we take it in stride. Maybe we get a credit, or maybe we hire a contractor or whatever, right? But in any case, those repairs need to be done prior to closing. Once it's time for the final walkthrough, we walk through and we make sure that those repairs were done to your satisfaction, and we move on to closing the house. Now, depending on how you're going to close on the house, whether you're wiring funds, whether you are taking a check out from the bank, you're doing a mortgage, whatever, right? You go to settlement and you sit down with the settlement agent and you sign papers. I often will be there. I don't need to be, but I like to show up for you guys, and you sign papers. Generally speaking, we're looking at 30 days being the minimum if you have a mortgage. If you have a mortgage, we're looking 30 days minimum. If not, we can close as soon as 10 days. So settlement and closing is not a big deal at all, but generally whatever's on the contract is what is the day that we close. And with that said, guys, I do want to let you know that you are not in this process alone. I have lenders that I will refer to you. I have attorneys. I will refer to you inspectors, all of that stuff. You don't need to know anybody besides me here in North Carolina. I will take care of just about everything for you, as much or as little as you want from me. But the real thing I want you to pay attention to is the difference in the process. So the due diligence process, right? Making sure that you have the time and the luxury to investigate the property thoroughly. We want to make sure that you know every last detail, every last blemish in that house as well as possible prior to moving. A long distance move is a freaking scary thing, right? However, I have my FaceTime, right? I have my drone to help you get a better understanding of the area that you're moving to, as well as a better understanding of the house. And then once again, the inspections and all of that stuff help put your mind at ease when purchasing a property here in North Carolina. Sometimes people need to sell a house in order to buy a house. No big deal, totally doable. It's easy process in my opinion. However, what I will ask of you is that you get me in contact with your listing agent in your home state with the property that you're selling. If you don't have a listing agent, I have a network in all 50 states and actually globally that I can get you in touch with a trusted professional that is going to do a great job with your property. And it's very easy as far as communication. But the reason I like to be in contact with your listing agent is so that I understand the timeline of the sale of your property, so that I can link up the sale of this property in North Carolina. It just makes it a hell of a lot easier for you to sell and buy on the same timeline, and make sure that we're accomplishing your goals and we don't have too many hiccups along the way because of a lack of communication. This video is not all encompassing, right? There's so many nuances to real estate. However, I am here to hold your hand as much or as little as needed. If you're a seasoned professional in the real estate space, totally cool. Let's do this together. I'll find you a property that suits your needs. We'll go and get to the closing table in the matter of a month or so. But if this is your first time and you're totally new to the process, that's awesome too. I will absolutely hold your hand through this and make sure that you're at ease, make sure that you're comfortable throughout this entire process to make sure that we get to closing smoothly. But whether you're looking at investments here in North Carolina, or you're looking at a primary residence, or maybe you're a military and you're PCSing to the area, I would absolutely love to help you with your endeavor. So that phone number and email address popping up on the screen, that is the best way to get in contact with me. And with that said, guys, hope you guys got something from this. Hope you know how to buy a house here in North Carolina. It's really not that bad. It sounds a little bit more complex than it really is, but that's why you have me. So reach out. But until the next time, guys, peace. See you later. Bye.